She's trying to hide when people talk about kids or complain about pregnancy. I see that. I know that it's not my fault. I know my pregnancy does not take away from her, but I also know how heavy it's going to land, and I just don't want to hurt her.
Endometriosis isn't just a bad period, it's a whole body disease that impacts at least 1 in 10 females at birth. And yet, most go years, sometimes over a decade, without a diagnosis. It's misunderstood, it's under-researched, and it's often dismissed as, just a reproductive issue. This podcast is the space for the real talk. The stuff we whisper about and cry about and scream about, and the small wins that we celebrate along the way. We are here to connect, to get honest, and to share what we're learning as we navigate life with endo together.
Hear us now, we won't stay quiet. Through the storm, we'll rise to fight it. Our bodies ache, our voices roar. We're stronger than we were before.
I'm Ruthie, a patient, a designer, an entrepreneur, and someone who has had enough and ready to talk about it.
And I'm Sharon. I am a clinical mental health counselor and experienced life coach who's focusing on helping people recover from life-changing events and create the life that they want and deserve.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Ruthie.
I'm so happy to be back here once every 2 weeks instead of once a week, but we are still here.
We are, and it's a great modeling to our clients as well. You know, some weeks are busy and we just have to honor it, and weeks that we feel better and we have better space for it, we keep doing it.
Yes, we are. And today we have another letter. We don't know who that is from. It's from S. Thank you for sending this in. This is also a trigger warning. We're going to be talking about pregnancy and trying to conceive. So if you feel more comfortable skipping this episode, please do so. Dear Yellow Hub, I've stuttered this letter so many times, and I still don't know how to say what I need to say. I'm pregnant. It's something I've wanted for a long time. It wasn't even planned exactly. We weren't trying, but we weren't not trying either. And when I saw the second line on that little stick, I felt everything at once. Joy, fear, disbelief, hope. But right underneath all of that, almost instantly, was also something else. Guilt. Because all I could think about was her, my best friend, the one who has been trying for so long, fighting silently through treatments and appointments and disappointments. The one who once whispered to me, I'm not sure my body even works the way it's supposed to. The one who hosted my baby shower 3 years ago and cried in the bathroom when she thought no one would notice. We've been friends since college. She helped me through my biggest breakup. I helped her when she had her first surgery. We've shared holidays and heartbreaks and everything, and I don't know how to tell her this. I don't want her to see this as one more thing she hasn't been able to have. I haven't said a word yet. I have been wearing oversized sweaters and ducking out of our usual meetups here and there. I told her I have just been tired and busy with work, which is true, but it's not the whole truth. The real reason is that I'm scared. I'm scared that when I tell her, I'll see that flicker in her face, in her eyes, that, she's trying to hide when people talk about kids or complain about pregnancy. I see that. I know that it's not my fault. I know my pregnancy does not take away from her, but I also know how heavy it's going to land, and I just don't want to hurt her. She's been through enough. I don't want her to feel like I moved on without her. I don't want her to feel like she has to pretend to be happy for me while, swallowing her own grief. I want to give her space, but I also really want her by my side. She's my best friend, and I don't know how to have both. I'm writing this letter because I don't know what else to do. Maybe someone listening has been in this position or on the other side. Maybe someone else has figured it out how to carry joy and sorrow in the same breath. I'm still learning, and all I know is that I still love her, and I hope more than anything that she still feels that. Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot. And I want to take a moment to kind of check, for our listeners to check in with themselves after listening to this letter, and just do kind of self check in, make sure they're okay. If they need to pause, take a breath, take a walk, and then decide how to and when to come back to listen. It is it could be a very triggering topic, especially in our endo family. And I want to also kind of open it up. It can be a triggering topic for other people too, right? Not just within endo. Many people struggle with trying to conceive, and it's not always a smooth path for everyone. And so this is, something we share with, many other people on this path.
That's true. They say that within groups of infertility, 50% is usually because of endometriosis, but there is the other 50% as well.
Right. Yeah. And the other thing I want to highlight, though, the one thing that really hit me from this letter is how much, love and tenderness and care there is from this friend. And I appreciate them taking the time and writing this. This is, obviously very vulnerable, very thoughtful at the same time. So I appreciate them kind of opening this topic up. It's an important topic to discuss. So thank you for sending this. So I'll start with the fact that I heard a lot of love and I heard a lot of care towards the friend. We don't know why the friend is, having trouble. I will assume that if it was sent to us, that it is related. It wasn't like clearly specified, but
Yeah.
I'm going with this assumption.
Yeah, because she said also her first
Her
surgery.
first, right. She talked about,
Insinuating.
yeah, the surgery. That's right. So yes. Yeah, I think I was so kind of focused on how much love and care and tenderness in the letter.
Yeah, I want you to be my friend. Can I be your friend too?
Yeah, there's a lot of care, and it sounds like kind of taking responsibility for things beyond what she can, right?
That's true.
She kind of touches these moments and then kind of goes away from them. And so she touches the moment of, I know, I can't, I know it's not my fault. And I don't want to hurt her. And it's hard in moments like that when we want to feel the joy and we want to feel like, embracing new pregnancy and new possibilities. And there's a lot of other things that come with pregnancies. There's, as we know, there's like anxiety and fear and, a lot of, it's, people often look at, oh, they're pregnant, that's so joyful, and like kind of overlook all the anxiety
Yeah.
moments that come with it and the uncertainty of all these weeks. Um,
Yeah.
and and I feel like deep love from that friend, and she's kind of trying to hide it, right? Like she's wearing big sweaters, and I know she comes from kindness, and I think that's a moment where I like to open up a new perspective on kindness, and that is the role of honesty and kindness. When we assume that we know what's best for someone else, we kind of take away their agency, and we assume responsibility for them when we assume things about them, and we maybe assume that maybe there is like an underlying assumption that they won't be able to cope. And yet the other parts I heard in the letter, it sounds to me like their friend is very resilient and kind of looking at her reality straight in the face. And it doesn't mean that the reality doesn't hurt, but
Right.
it doesn't sound like she's not coping. It's okay for us to feel different feelings, even contradicting feelings at the same time. She can be extremely happy for her friend and have
Right.
all this joy and love and hope for her friend in her heart, while also feeling sad in moments like that where it kind of heightens the void for herself. And both can exist at
Yeah.
the same time.
That is such a beautiful thing to remember because it's so hard, right? Especially if you are in the place where you feel like you're the person hurting and like you're the person causing those tears. And that's not true because, like, right, you, the friend, would do everything you can if you could. So it's not you,
Yeah.
it's the situation. It's, every person get their cards, whatever whatever they got dealt with, and that's on her plate. So it really is, it's such a beautiful letter and a very delicate time, but I tend to agree because, like, if people assume that I don't want to know, like, I would be more offended if I find out, like, in the very last minute, or because I accidentally saw them on the street, or like, why? Like, I would want to be happy for you. Maybe I'll crochet something for you. Give me some time. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
But it's tough. I wonder if, like, there's any tips for how to approach it. Okay, so I'm gonna, like, talk to her, and, like, how do I do that in a way that is really, like, respecting both feelings that
Mhm.
I feel?
Yeah. I appreciate that you asked that because when I was listening to the letter, it sounded to me like she's already there. And it amazes me many times when I see letters like that or when I speak with clients. The answer is already in them describing the problem, right? So they have it within them, and it's just a moment of like, can we look at what you just said? There is a paragraph there where she talks about, I think it starts with something like, I don't want her to, and
I don't want her to hurt. I don't want her to feel like she's been left out. Yeah.
yeah,
Really
and
focusing on the friend.
yeah, and so going back to honesty, I think this paragraph kind of has all the things that she wants to hold for her friend, kind of say with whole heart, right? Like, this is exactly where she talks about it. I would love for you to be part of this joy for me. And I cannot ignore your pain, and I'm not going to ignore your pain. And so please, know that I hold space for you whenever you want and however you want to navigate this. Please just tell me your needs, right? Like, it's okay for you to tell me I don't want to come to the next baby shower. It's
Yeah.
okay for you to tell me, actually, I would feel, I want to, do the whole thing again for you. But give her the credit that she is managing her own emotions and the acknowledgement that, you know, she is coping. She is brave in this. Like, she's already doing the work, and not take it away from her, right? Like, let's not take away from her how she navigated this whole thing until now, right? Just kind of approach with honesty and kindness, which is what this letter was all about. Say all these things that are on your heart. I know that this is hard. I know you are happy for me because I feel your love, and I know that this is hard for you because you feel the void. No, and it's okay, and I'm open to navigating it with you the way that will be most respectful and kind to you.
Beautiful. I love that. What do you do? Like, it's gonna be an emotional time. Is crying a bad sign?
I personally don't see expressing emotion as a bad sign.
Okay.
On the contrary, like, I would look at when are we suppressing emotions and what's going on there. Like, why would we be avoiding emotions? Why would we be avoiding situations? But feeling the feelings and being able to name them and being able to feel them is, that we only have one way to feel emotions, and we start suppressing, we're not going to be able to enjoy the joy either, right? Like start blocking our emotional pathway.
That's true. You know what? That's a really, really good point. Because, like, that is friendship. We're sharing what we're going through, and, like, holding that back is starting to create that little bit of a distance, which is probably what prompted her to send in the letter. And, like, she just wants it to be, she doesn't want to stay in that state.
Yes. She's already feeling the fact that her avoidance is not
Yeah.
working well and is not making her feel any better whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
going to be a
so,
tough conversation.
and I think it would be very powerful in good friendships to also say, to kind of own that part, right? Like to kind of own the part that I realize I have been avoiding. I didn't know how to approach this. Just be honest, right? Like kind of going back to honesty. If we're looking at good friendships, honesty is the only way, right? Like that's what makes long-term friendships survive. When we start avoiding and not having hard conversations, this is when this friendship moved to a different track. We all have friends that we are kind of friends with, but not fully. Why is that not fully? Well, we're not fully showing up, fully being ourselves, fully being vulnerable. We're not doing that. And so the friendship looks like that, you know?
Yeah. That's very true. I also have to say, like, on a very specific and personal level, I found myself really like helping with tips and stuff when my friends got pregnant because hello, I'm an expert on pelvic pain. Tell me all your problems. I'm happy to help. Like, I don't have any specific pregnancy tips, but like, I know everything there is to know about like how it affects your back, how all the pelvic floor like works. Like, I'm here to help you understand the root for the problems, and which was super, super helpful. So, and there's nothing like going back to what we talked about a few episodes ago about helping other people. We're asking for help. This is one time we're asking a lot for help, and this is one time where we can potentially return it. So I feel like it's a really good place to try to, like you said, just be a friend. Don't try to gate this because this
Yeah.
actually might turn it to be like a really, really nice support throughout that pregnancy as well.
Yeah. Could be extremely powerful and will build an even deeper relationship between the two of them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, kind of highlighting where we started, the part about honesty and the role of honesty and kindness. When we don't share openly with our friends, I think that hurts more. Like you said, if you were to find out later without them telling you, or in different ways, or through a different friend,
Ooh, that's the worst.
you know, that will really hurt the relationship way more because this is already kind of breaching towards like beyond this topic.
Yeah.
As we're talking about it, I'm going back to the part about opening up with there's something I want to share and I want to acknowledge that I held this information back for we don't know exactly how many weeks and that I was struggling and I'm processing and I want to own that part, right? And I'm sorry, right?
Yeah. I think that's, I mean, I couldn't be upset with a friend who comes so, raw and authentic and just sharing. And, it might be that that friend, like, maybe your friend wouldn't be able to be there for you right away. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
she's going to need some time to process.
Yeah.
That is also fine.
Yep.
How can we, like, in case people do need some time away, how can pregnant women, friends, can kind of like try to stay friends and try to like keep things in a way that would allow them to come back together afterwards?
Yeah. I think it goes back to that part of the conversation of, what would be best for you. and you can give the space for them in the sense of saying something like, you don't have to tell me right now because I don't expect you to know exactly how you're going to feel at which point or how you're even feeling now, because I just dropped this big news on you and I'm not expecting you to like process and already tell me. And so know that I love you, know that I'm completely open, and I will understand if, you text me in a week or in 2 days and say, I think I need some space to process this. And I will know it comes from love and I will know exactly where it's coming from. All I ask in return is just keep me informed in the sense of, the moment you feel you want any kind of connection, tell me I want any kind of connection and what it is. And even if the day later you're like, I need another week away, yesterday was too much for me, it's okay. So, like, basically, kind of giving an okay for any communication as long as it's open. Because I think the hard part would be for the friend who is pregnant, for example, and is trying to reach out, like, let's say, I don't know, let's have coffee. And pregnancy progresses, and let's say that week the friend felt strong and open for it, and they meet and she sees the rounding of the belly and like just the progression, and for whatever reason it feels too much that week. Maybe it's a hard week for other reasons too, and it's just too much. Our window of tolerance kind of shrinks, and so then it's okay the next day to say, hey, yesterday was great to see you and it also felt like a lot. I'm gonna take some time. And so that part becomes like really on open, clear communication and non-judgment on either party, that, saying that and giving that permission in this same conversation, I think would be best. And then like act on it, like show that it's okay to tell me like I need a week, right? And say, no problem, I love you, right? In return, whenever you're ready, I'm here.
That's beautiful. I love that. I want a friendship like that.
You mean real and honest?
Yeah, it's like I feel like it's sometimes we really try so much to not hurt that we are hurting because we're trying too hard, and this it feels also almost too simple, but simple is good. So I love that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to adopt that to my relationships as well. Any final words?
Yeah. This, I think kind of going back to where we started, this is a sensitive topic. And do a little bit of check-in with yourself before you move into whatever is next in your life. And take care of yourself. Maybe do some breathing exercises, or maybe go for a walk, or if you like a specific meditation you like listening to, any gentle movement, stretches that we talked about, whatever works for you today, for where you are today. But please take a moment to kind of check in with your body and where you might be holding a little more stress from listening to this, and take care of yourself. And I will say one more thing. I really appreciate sending this, kind and thoughtful and very loving letter, and kind of shining a light on this tough topic for many of us, and showing how much love and care our friends have for us.
Yeah.
That's the other part
Well,
of
they have raised the bar. Now I have more expectations. We will be back here in 2 weeks. If you have any questions or stories you would like to share with us, please send us a letter, or you're welcome to join us as a guest. We will see you in 2 weeks.